Louisiana Beer Reviews, Shock Top Belgian White canned version. I've reviewed the bottled version, but I've never done the can. I was actually looking for Mickey's fine malt liquor in a can, and it's just, I can't find it anywhere around here. One store said nobody was buying it, so they stopped selling it. I saw it in bottles, but I wanted to do a can version of Mickey's. I have to look around for that. I mean, really look. 5.2% alcohol. Shock Top was introduced in 2006. It was originally Michelob Shock Top, but they pulled it from the Michelob line. Gets a pour rating on Beer Advocate. The bros say pour. 18 out of 100 rate beer, 8 out of 100 for the style, and it gets a fine score on the Beer and Me, which would be around a B- or a C+. This was introduced by Anheuser-Busch in 2006 to compete with Blue Moon, the Blue Moon line from Coors. So let's check it out. It's a Belgian-style wheat ale brewed with citrus peels, and that's lemon and lime peels and coriander. There was a little smoke coming out. Don't really have it. I should have put this in a wheat glass, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I tried the Shock Top, what is that, apple crisp, honey apple crisp at the brewery in June, and I thought that was terrible. It tasted like a pureed children's cereal. I mean, it didn't taste terrible, but for a beer it was terrible. For a pureed children's cereal, it wasn't bad. This has a medium white head, and the sun is like 88 degrees in the sky. It's a bad angle, but appearance is very cloudy, milky, yellow orange. From that direction, a little more yellow golden, but it's orange, really yellowish orange. And the aroma, wow, that is very grain husk. You get a lot of grain husk, and they say on their website it's barley malt and other grains. It's probably corn, could be corn syrup, and wheat, of course. They're not specific, so that makes you think it's not the greatest stuff. I don't know. This Shock Top is pretty popular, not as popular as Blue Moon, but it has its little place, and I do see people buying it. Now the grain husk is kind of washing away, and I'm getting just white bread, generalized grain, white bread, and some maybe very faint spices and sweetness. Oh, the aroma's not bad. It's not really exactly what you would call a beer aroma, and this isn't really exactly what you would call a beer. It's a beer-based product. Ought to not even be reviewing it, but anyway, let's go with let's see if we can get the rest in here. I think the head would have been thicker if it had been a wider brim glass. It's probably sediment at the bottom. See if I can get that all in here in a minute. The flavor, it's very sweet. You get the lemon and orange and lime, and so you're getting that citrus. It's more like citrus pulp though than the citrus peel. It's just really sweet and bready. There's maybe some, if there's coriander, it's such a small amount, which I like, because some of these companies, they just go berserk with the coriander, and then it has it really has kind of an awful flavor. Coriander is something you don't want to put a lot of it. Or let me say it like this: I don't like when people put a lot of it. Not to say I dislike it, but it's a spice that should be used sparingly. Yeah, just sweet, fruity, sort of artificial flavor. Children's cereal again. The bitterness is, but essentially there is no hop bitterness. Okay, if they use hops, they must just put like one actual hop bud in a aging tank. One bud of hops. A lot of water in the flavor, a lot of tap water, and that's what they use at breweries, tap water. Like at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery in St. Louis, they use water from the Mississippi River, municipal water supply, brewed and canned by Shock Top, St. Louis. Okay, so this is probably, being here in Louisiana, it's probably coming from the St. Louis brewery, although it could be coming from Houston. I don't know which brewery supplies us. But it really doesn't matter. Houston, they're getting it from, I'm sure, well water, but they treat it to make it all the same, essentially. I know a lot of college-age girls who may or may not be old enough to drink legally, in a legal sense, but they would like this kind of stuff. And some men too. Oh, I do see some particles floating around, but it didn't really cloud up. Yeah, there's some little black particles, looks like. And I don't know what that is. It's something to do with the beer. It's not dirt or anything. They like this kind of stuff because they don't like the taste of beer. They won't let themselves get used to the taste of beer. And and I can see a lot of people are not going to get used to the taste of beer because they're getting off track with all these flavored things. And someone told me on YouTube, well, if you add maple syrup and stuff like that, it's not considered a flavored beer. Well, to me, if you add flavoring, I don't care what it is, it's still a flavored beer, okay? Artificial flavoring, natural flavoring, I don't really care. It's still a flavored beer, and it's not a beer taste. Budweiser, that's a beer taste. And when you get beer reviewers saying, and I've heard this actual statement, it tastes like beer, like that's their criticism. That to me is a problem. It's like you go to an NBA game and they play music throughout the whole game. Why is that? Because they're basically saying to you, we know our sport is so boring that we have to play music so you don't walk out. And I can't stand that. I mean, I go to a game, I want to watch a game, so I don't go because of that. I go to 2 games a year to see the Pelicans, formerly the Hornets. That's about all I can tolerate. And with something like this, it's the same thing. It's about all I can tolerate. I bought this to try for a review. Would I ever drink it on a regular basis? No way, no how. I mean, I'll go along with the beer in me. It's fine. It's a C+, you know, it's like high average. It's not anything bad about it. There is no metallic in there, thankfully. But it's not really a beer. It's a flavored malt beverage. This is not beer. Sorry, kids. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.